Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failure. In our last video, we tackled the first Interglobal Film Studios mission. That one was called Recruitment Drive. This video is all about the second of 4 film studio missions. It's called Dildo Dodo. Passing this mission awards $2,000 and unlocks the next Interglobal Film mission. That one's called Martha's Mugshot. Let's check out the cutscene.
How's filming going, Steve?
Well, Candy is a natural. And that new girl, she's insatiable. She went through half the cast and crew before I even took a light reading. Anyway, hey, tomorrow we're going on location to shoot the boat scenes.
Boat scenes? What boat scenes?
The fishermen are in the throes of passion when the giant shark comes in.
What'd I say about the giant shark? I said, no giant shark, all right? Just keep the cameras pointed at the poontang.
Okay. Hey, Tommy, you guys got to try, right?
Get those flyers printed up?
Yeah, but nobody's going to let us distribute those things. I mean, they're just too, they're unimaginative.
You don't worry about that. I've got my own ideas for distribution.
Okay. Hey, Candy, in my trailer.
Holy cow, was that a graphic suggestion at the end of that cutscene with the film director calling for Candy to go to his trailer as he unzips his fly? My goodness, I didn't realize how much Rockstar pushed the boundaries in this mission, at least in that cutscene. Okay, let's hop into this skimmer here. There's no actual door to the skimmer, so we just teleport in. Like, you literally never open the door like you do for every other vehicle, except for motorcycles, but like helicopters, you open the door. But the skimmer just doesn't have a door, so you just always teleport in and out for this particular vehicle. There is a faster way to make this U-turn, and I only realized it while I was recording footage, and that's to, as you're making the U-turn, which is to like push forward and hold the right direction on the keyboard, so W and D for me. As you're doing that, you should lean back in the plane, which is 6 on my number pad. 9 is the lean forward button for me. Okay, so pretty straightforward mission here once you figure out the controls of the skimmer. You can see that we go through any of the blue checkpoints. There were a bunch of them marked on the map, and once you go through one of them, then all of the blue checkpoints on the map disappear, and one single red checkpoint appears, and that's the one that will stop all these flyers from shooting out the back of the plane. And my goodness, gang, this is a lot of flyers. Like, we're talking like 10, 15 a second. Like, this is a crazy amount of flyers. Anyway, as the game said, you can go into any blue checkpoint to begin dropping the flyers. But the checkpoints kind of appear essentially covering the outline of the island, so it's roughly an oval, like a large, long, tall oval. And so you can go to any blue checkpoint to start, and you can do any checkpoints in any order here. But essentially, you just want to like come into the oval and start somewhere, and then follow the oval around. And as you're looking from above the plane, like looking down onto the island, you want to follow this oval in the direction that we're following, which is counterclockwise or anti-clockwise for my British friends. And the reason you want to go counterclockwise is because that's the direction that the reds follow the blues. So pick a starting point. Oh, look out. Pick a starting point and then just go counterclockwise in order. Most of the checkpoints are easy to reach, but some of them are kind of like between buildings, so you'll see me take sort of a wide, like right turn through a couple of buildings coming up. You can be more aggressive than I am if you're really confident in your ability to fly the skimmer. Once we go through the last red checkpoint, the mission will pass. We'll get our $2,000. Additionally, the wiki says that once you pass this mission, flyers for the movie Bite will appear all over Vice City, and they aren't there at the moment, right? We got lots of Elvis flyers, but apparently we'll start seeing Bite flyers as well. And also the skimmer, this plane, will now constantly spawn at the studio's jetty, so another vehicle unlocks once you pass this mission. As we watch the end of this vanilla attempt, let's come back to a word that Tommy used during that cutscene. He said, just keep the camera pointed at the poontang. And so I've heard the word poontang before. I thought it just meant female genitalia. Looking online, I also see that it could mean sexual intercourse or female genitalia. Let's go ahead and check out the etymology from Wiktionary.org. The origin is uncertain, likely from the French poutain, which means prostitute. You can also compare similar words to poontang in other languages. So it says in Jamaican Creole, punani means female genitalia. In Tagalog, that's the language of the Philippines, Punang ina means prostitute mother, but it's an insult that roughly translates to contemptible person. And then from the Spanish puta, which means prostitute. Moving on to fail states and quirks. First, again, I'll teleport in, and then when I exit the vehicle, there's no door, so I just get plopped on top like a couple of feet above the skimmer. So I'll show you a couple of fail states here. First, not returning to the skimmer in time, and second, destroying the skimmer. Now let's return to the word puntang that Tommy used in this cutscene and the Spanish word puta meaning prostitute. And seeing the word puta here reminds me of the cutscene from the final mission of GTA 3. So that final story mission is called The Exchange, and the premise is the main character, the hero, Claude, needs to bring $500,000 to the bad guy, Catalina, who has kidnapped Claude's girlfriend or whatever, Maria. And so they're supposed to exchange, it's called The Exchange, the cash for the kidnapped Maria. And so in this cutscene, at least the version that I'm familiar with, at the end of the cutscene, Catalina says to Claude, throw over the cash, and the line stops. But in the PAL 1.40 version, there's an additional few words at the end of that line, which are played. Catalina says, throw over the cash, and you can have your overused puta back, your overused prostitute and whore back. So anyway, I am going to include a link to that cutscene, the PAL 1.40 version of the cutscene. You can check it out in the description below. It's going to be from YouTuber Majin13PS3. So check that out down below, and you'll see that connection between puta in the GTA 3 cutscene and Poontang here in Vice City. Here's another fail state. It turns out it's possible to fly the skimmer backwards. I don't quite have the mechanics down. That's what I was trying to do there. But anyway, like I failed because I flipped the skimmer over and I'm drowning, but I can hop out. And because the skimmer doesn't sink, I'm not dead. Technically, I could maybe like hop onto a passing boat. I don't know. Why is the skimmer like rotating? Like it just keeps kind of rotating back and forth. I don't understand that mechanic. I'm also kind of surprised it isn't sinking. I mean, the reason the skimmer doesn't sink are the pontoons. These the two long things, one on either side of Tommy, which are not currently touching the water, right? Like those are the things that make the skimmer float. Anyway, I'm sure it was fixed in the definitive edition, but still, this is a fail state. If you flip the skimmer over and land in the water, you fail and start drowning, but technically not dead. Another fail state is running out of fuel. That's what I'm going to do here. I'm playing this in double speed, but what I'm going to ask you to do, just as a pop quiz, is try to make your best guess as to what is going to happen when the skimmer runs out of fuel. Like, it's going to be a mission fail, but what is going to happen specifically when the skimmer runs out of fuel? Pause the video, make your best guess, and come on back. And before I reveal, or before we watch what happens, I'll share that when you get that low fuel warning, there's a beep that comes on the skimmer. It's really cool. I'll play it for you here. What a nice touch that Rockstar added there. I never heard that beep before because I've never run out of fuel. So I assumed that we were just going to glide down to the ground when the fuel was out, but no. The skimmer blows up because GTA. In the next clip, I wanted to get a closer look at these flyers that are pouring out the back of the skimmer. So I just landed right up here on this little section of concrete and then hopped out. And I didn't realize there would be a 30-second timer to get back in the skimmer because I've never gotten out of the skimmer during this mission. I was hoping to get a look at some of these flyers. Like I thought they would just live on the ground, at least for a little bit. The wiki says they eventually sink into the ground, but for me, it's not eventually. These things just vanish completely as soon as they touch the ground. I will zoom in here with the sniper just to show you what they look like. They're super blurry, but they are definitely not the bite poster that we saw in the cutscene, which is mostly blue, right? Like it's Candy Sucks in her standard bikini or whatever, and then like blue water and like it's a parody of Jaws. But anyway, I don't know what these flyers are, but they're definitely not the bite poster. So if this skimmer existed in real life, the only place it could take off from would be the water. There's no chance it could take off from dry land. But this skimmer can, as long as you're on a part of the land that doesn't have a lot of friction. So like I couldn't take off from the grass because I couldn't get enough speed. But here, with the speed I can get and then this little bit of a drop off, I'm able to take off. Now we get to my challenge for this mission. It's going to be in two parts. First, I'm going to get myself a 6-star wanted level, not by using cheats, but by doing a lot of destruction. And then with that 6-star wanted level, I'm going to try to pass this mission, but I'm going to pick these checkpoints up in the reverse order from how I normally do it. And that means a whole heck of a lot more flying because there's going to be a lot of backtracking by picking these things up in a clockwise fashion. Now let's go ahead and read from the trivia section of the wiki for this mission. The song that can be heard during the cutscene for this mission is Shame by Evelyn Champagne King. This song is also featured on the in-game radio station Fever 105. On rare occasions, when the plane is tilted upside down, flyers appear in two directions. I had my plane upside down on a couple of attempts that I didn't show in this video, and I was never able to get the flyers to fly in two different directions. Remember, the name of this mission is Dildo Dodo, and the trivia section points out that the name of this mission is likely a reference to the Dodo from GTA 3. Now, that's a plane that looks quite a bit like the Skimmer. It's not a seaplane like the Skimmer is, but other than that, quite similar to the Skimmer, and the Dodo in GTA 3 is barely flyable. The Skimmer is quite a bit more easy to fly, and of course a dildo is a sex toy, and then that two-word phrase, Dildo Dodo, is quite alliterative, so I think that's where the name of the mission comes from. Now let's move on to reading from the wiki about Candy Sucks. Candice Shand, that's S-H-A-N-D, better known by her stage name Candy Sucks, sometimes spelled with 3 X's, sometimes with 2, is a supporting character in Vice City, and she is briefly heard in Vice City Stories. She is also mentioned on posters in Manhunt, San Andreas, and Liberty City Stories. She is voiced by Jenna Jameson. Again, another celebrity voice that I had no idea was in the game. So let's head over to Jenna Jameson's wiki here. Jenna Marie Masoli, better known as Jenna Jameson, born 1974 in Las Vegas, is an American pornographic actress, voice actress, and entrepreneur who has been called the world's most famous porn star. So that was from the GTA Wiki. Now I'll head over to Wikipedia for Jenna Jameson, and I mean, this is a massive page. I'm just going to read the little parts here about the video games. In 2002, she appeared in 2 video games, most notably voicing Candy Sucks in Vice City. Her character begins as a prostitute but goes on to success as a pornographic actress and is displayed on several billboards within the game. Oh, it's a feel-good story. Her performance won the 2000 G-Phoria Best Live Action Voice Performance Award Female. All right. She also provided both the appearance and the voice for Daisy, a secret playable character for the video game Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, who performs provocative tricks with her clothing and skateboard. All of a sudden I have an interest in Tony Hawk games. Now coming back to the wiki for Candy Sucks, she was born somewhere in the US and began to work as a porn star at some point prior to 1984, and we know that about the timeline because she is mentioned as being in a porn movie in Vice City Stories, which of course is set in 1984. So in this game, Candy's first appearance was in the party on the yacht. I showed that in the last video, which was Recruitment Drive, where Candy again was featured. So technically Candy didn't appear in this mission that we're doing here, Dildo Dodo, although we're advertising her movie Bite up in the Skimmer. And then Candy will make 2 more appearances in the final 2 missions coming up here at the film studio, Martha's Mugshot and G Spotlight. She does the voice, her own voice, in Vice City Stories in one mission, Conduct Unbecoming. And now moving down to the trivia section for Candy Sucks, there is a different universe variant of her in the HD universe compared to the new continuity started in GTA 4, along with other previous media personalities. The wiki lists Candy's filmography here. Looks like 7 videos, or 7 films. So here are the titles. Bite, the one we're advertising here. Closer Encounters, we mentioned that in the last video. Vinewood Call Girls, That Can't Be Legal. Filthy Chicks, Return of the Anaconda, and Let Me Bounce. She also has a VCBI crime tree record. Woman of extremely ill repute, possible involvement in blackmailing of politicians. So that's going to be what the next video is about. And then Never Seems to Get Cold, which is a reference to the fact that she's always wearing her bikini. But it's Vice City. I mean, it's warm. So here we are heading into the penultimate blue checkpoint. It was right in front of the pizza place in downtown. And now you can see that we're just going the straight opposite direction that we were before, because going clockwise around the island is poor. We should definitely go counterclockwise if we're going for speed. This is the red checkpoint corresponding, and it's also right in front of the pizza place in Little Haiti. Never noticed that before, because when I'm flying, I'm not typically looking out my windows like I'm a tourist. But anyway, here we are, and I'm the captain. So let's see, back in downtown, we got to fly almost all the way to the north. You can see the Love Fist billboard off your left-hand side. And the final checkpoint, watch out for that antenna. is all the way to the north, over by the two dirt track missions, Trial by Dirt and something else. Test track, test trial. I'm not sure. Something. Anyway, there's the track, and we got to make a U-turn here and head back to the final red checkpoint. Okay, passing stuff that I don't know what it is. I think our Hyman safe house was just off the right-hand side there. And navigating between the buildings, you can see all the satellite dishes on the V-Rock building plus the antenna, and then mission passed. And then we'll head right back to not quite the starting mission marker, but we're going to go to that armor location just across the street from the film studio. So we're going to try to land perfectly inside of that little grassy area because I have only 118 armor and I want the full 150, darn it. All right, here we go, and down. Beautiful. Nailed it. Nailed it. I didn't even know the skimmer was on fire. I would have run further away if I had known. Anyway, there it is. Good job, little buddy. Okay, headed back into the film studio in preparation for our next video, which is going to be the third of 4 film studio missions. If you have any memories you'd like to share about Dildo Dodo, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.